Hi, this is Beth at BethJones.net, and I wanted to share some stories with you about my trip there in Antigua, Guatemala. I think that God did some amazing things, and I had already shared with you about the salvation in Central Park. I had gone to Parque Central, which is a center part there in Antigua, and I was just walking around wanting to look at the coffee shops and the restaurants and the stores, and a man approached me about a walking tour there in Antigua, and he talked to me about the tour, and I talked to him about Jesus. And I don't have a strong evangelistic gifting, but it was just so easy. It was totally a God thing. And right there in Central Park, I asked him when he liked to receive Jesus as his Lord and Savior, and to my shock, to my surprise, he said yes. And he received him. He prayed the prayer of salvation. So I give Jesus all the praise, all the glory for that. Another thing that happened there is I had gone into the bathroom. Kim and I had met at Cafe Barista, a coffee shop there. And when I came out and I was at the sink washing my hands, I couldn't get the paper towel dispenser to work right. And another lady was in there and she helped me. Her name was Raquel. And then suddenly this woman began to talk to me and share her heart with me. And she talked to me about retiring there in Antigua. She had lived, I believe, 30 or 40 years in the United States, but she was living in Antigua there and she was struggling. And so God prompted me to ask her if I could pray for her. And so I prayed for God's clarity of purpose for her, to him to give her a clear vision, for him to bless her financially and provide every need she had, and just his blessings and guidance for her. And she had tears in her eyes, and she thanked me, and she agreed with me that it was not an accident, that it was a divine appointment. I don't believe in accidents. I believe it was the Lord leading our steps. So that was kind of funny. Right there in the bathroom by the sink, God was at work. God will meet you anywhere if you have your heart open to him and ask for his leading. Another thing that happened is one morning Kim went and just showed me one of the women that cook the corn tortillas there on the streets, and they sell them for their business, and they make them right there at their home. So we went to this woman's humble home, and she was there with her beautiful Guatemalan daughters, teen girls, and she was making the tortillas for us, and Kim got 10 of them for a special price. And after she made them for us, I asked if I could pray for her, and I had Kim translating for me because Kim speaks fluent, beautiful Spanish, and I'm still learning my Spanish. So she translated, and the woman said yes. And so I got to pray for her, for God to bless and prosper her business and provide their every need. In another situation at Central Park, there was a man in a wheelchair with one leg. He had had his leg amputated. He was diabetic and he had other health issues. And so he came up to us and he begged for money. There's a lot of beggars there in Central Park and around the town. And so Kim was talking to him, and I asked, could I pray for him? I asked Kim to translate, and he said yes. And I prayed for God. I asked what he needed, and he told Kim what he needed was he wanted prayer for his health and his family's health, his daughter, and God's financial blessings. So I prayed that for him, and Kim translated. There was another situation where a couple had come to Kim's house. It was a young married couple. His name was Minor. Her name was Michelle, and their beautiful little girl, Emma. They had come, and Emma was playing at the house, and she went up to the Kim's dining table, and there was fake fruit on the table as a centerpiece, which is actually common there, that type of decoration. And she was touching the grapes, the fake grapes. And it just so happened a few days before that, I'd gone to the market, the fruit little market by Kim's house, and bought some grapes and some other things. So I offered her some grapes and their family, and she said yes. And so I was able to give that little girl some grapes. Now, you may think that's nothing, but Jesus said if you give a cup to one of these little ones, if you give a cup of water to someone in need, his blessings will be with you. So another thing that happened while I was there that I felt like the Lord was leading me to do was go to the top of the hill with the cross, Serra de la Cruz, which is there in Antigua. And I read 2 scriptures over the people of Antigua and Guatemala. I prayed God's blessings upon Guatemala and Antigua. I prayed that God would eradicate the virus, heal anyone that had it. I prayed for salvations and healings and miracles and God's blessings upon the people there. I wanted to go a couple of days before that, but it was raining, and the day I went, there was no rain, and I was very happy about that. I was able to get a short video and some pictures of it, and it's just absolutely incredible and beautiful. So I was able to release God's blessings over the people there in the land. I also gave some words of encouragement to a couple of vendors that I met that would approach me. And one of the friends at Stan and Kim's house, I was able to give him some words of encouragement as led by the Lord. The things that I felt that were the most important things I did there was leading the man to Christ, praying at the top of the hill with the cross, Serra de la Cruz, releasing God's blessings and miracles and salvations over the people of Antigua and Guatemala, and giving the little girl the grapes. I felt like those were the most important things I did there, besides praying for the people when I was in my room. And that I did what God wanted me to do, that I obeyed him. And it wasn't even on my radar to go, but God inspired and stirred my heart to go there. He provided the way, and I went, and I loved it. I'm so happy I got to go. So I pray that I can go back again. And my prayer every day is, here I am, Lord. Here I am. Send me. And I pray that I will be able to go there and other nations. So I pray this encourage you today, and remember to be open to what God has for you. Be blessed and have a beautiful day, all for the glory of Jesus.